How's it going, Titans fans? Titan Uprising here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. The Tennessee Titans won their first preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings, and the score was 24-16. Now, I'm going to get into some of the good, the bad, some of the stats, who went out, got hurt, which is one key player that, in my opinion, when we're waiting to see what happened. And then towards the end, I'm going to get into Malik Willis and what I thought about his performance and what we might have asked him to do specifically, or what we didn't ask him to do, and I'll get into that as well. But before we do, please continue to like, share, subscribe. Please comment. Love the feedback. Thank you guys for getting me over 300 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I really do, especially you guys that have been there with me since day one. Slowly have tried to grow this channel. Love interacting with you guys. I've been posting out a lot more polls now. I think you guys seem to really like that. I do. I like seeing what everybody else is thinking. One of the things that I did post a poll on was how you guys felt about Malik Willis's performance. A lot of people were just, a lot of lackluster, right? As either okay, and then one of the options I had there was not going to be our starting quarterback next year, and a lot of people seem to be picking okay, and then not the quarterback that's going to be the lead in the franchise next year. So I think we all were, and I'll get into it later, but I think we all were expecting a little bit more. At least I was. But we'll save that for the end. Right now, I'm going to get into some of the players that did good, and then I'll mix in some of the bad, and then I'll get into some stats as well. Now, one of the guys that has been doing really good, and I think he's making a case for himself, is edge rusher, and he's an undrafted free agent edge rusher, Caleb Murphy. Now, I think he's made a very strong case to make the 53-man roster. I think he's a lock, in my opinion, but we'll wait and see. Now, he was a menace all night against the Vikings. He had 3 tackles, which led the team. 3 tackles, and he led the team with 2 sacks. Apologize for that. But when he didn't get the sack, he was in the backfield causing mayhem and hurries. This guy has a nonstop motor. He's quick off the edge. Now, we all know our top 3 edge rushers are Harold Landry, Arden Key, and Rashad Weaver. We need a 4th. We don't have a 4th. And I think this is going to be Caleb Murphy. I don't see how it's not going to be him. I've been surprised before, but, I love this guy. I really do think he's going to be our 4th edge rusher. And I'm excited for that. I love seeing undrafted guys getting a shot and making it. It's one of those humble feelings, right? It's I like it. It's good stuff. Now this one is kind of a good, kind of a bad. I'll do the bad first. Now, I think Hassan Haskins is in trouble. He hasn't done much this preseason, didn't even play against the Vikings. And if you take into account the off the field situation that he got himself into, I think he could be gone. And I honestly, I think he is gone. Now, if the off the field situation wasn't, let's just say that wasn't there, wasn't a thing, didn't happen. Now, let's just, like I said, pretend it didn't happen. Guys like Jaquez Patrick there, he played very well. But then you have to add Chestnut, and my God, was he impressive. He finished with 13 carries for 98 yards and a rushing touchdown. He also caught a pass for a touchdown, and he even added a special teams tackle. Man, he's doing it all. It's a Vrabel guy. Catching, running, special teams tackle. It screams Mike Vrabel. Now, in my opinion, Chestnut, because of that, has to be the RB3. Has to be the RB3. I don't know how you choose Haskins over him, especially, like I said, just performance-wise. I don't know how you don't choose Chestnut. And then if you add the legal troubles in as well, and then you got to figure, we did sign Patrick. So why did we sign him if we have Hassan Haskins? I think the writing's on the wall for him. I think he's gone. Now, while we're talking about the running backs here, let's get into our RB2, and that's rookie Tyjae Spears. This guy is electric. I've always been saying he's lightning in a bottle. Love that saying. He had 7 carries for 57 yards and a rushing touchdown before giving way to Chestnut for the rest of the game. This guy has me excited. I'm excited to watch him play. I really am. His touchdown was a 33-yard scamper, and that was awesome. He hurdled a guy and took it to the house. Now, we have a future Hall of Fame running back in Derrick Henry, and now we have 2 very solid, capable running backs as our RB2s and RB3s. So I'm excited for the running back room this season. If Derrick Henry wasn't enough, these guys are just taking it over the top, cherry on top. Now, next guy up here is undrafted free agent. This is a DB, and it's nice to see that because we need some corner depth. And that's Eric Garror. And he had 4 tackles, 1 pass defended, and he's all over the place. Those 4 tackles are all solos, by the way. Now, he also took a punt for 22 yards, and that was the best return of the game. Now, that also screams Vrabel guy. This is a Vrabel guy. He's a little undersized. I think he's around 5'10", but he sticks his nose in there and just, man, he hits people. And he gets the one-on-one tackles. There's a key 3rd and 2, I believe, and he went in there, came off the edge, and cracked the guy. And you love seeing that from a corner. And like I said, that screams Vrabel. He's a smaller guy, getting the punt return game out of him. He's a corner. He's cracking guys. I love it. Now, another positive here is Teair Tart. Now, this guy was just an absolute menace. He was the only defensive starter, or I would say locked-in defensive starter, to play, and he saw 21 snaps. He wreaked havoc. It was a menace, like I said. He was in the backfield a lot. Pro Football Focus didn't even have him as one of the highest graded players on our team, and I'm starting to lose a little faith in Pro Football Focus there because of this. Even the announcers like, this guy's all over the place. He got kicked out of practice and he's pissed about it. That's what the announcers were saying, and I agreed with him. This guy was mad. He was angry. He had 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass defended, and 1 QB hit. Tart with the rest of the D-line this year is going to be absolutely filthy. Now, I did a breakdown of our defense earlier this year if you guys want to check that video out, and I always said Teair Tart was one of the guys getting his big paw up there, swatting the ball down. Did it again in the preseason game. Pro Football Focus, you don't have him as one of the highest ones. Come on, he just popped off the tape. How do you not see that? Makes you really question them guys. It really does. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of negatives. If you want to say, I might have 2 or 3. If you want to count Willis as one, we'll get into that soon. But my one of my negatives here is Monty Rice. I was really thinking this guy was going to be the number 2 inside linebacker to Aziz Al-Shair. And first off, he didn't practice this week and he didn't play. Now, Jack Gibbons, in my opinion, wins the 2nd inside linebacker job because of this. I just think that's a lock already. I think it's Dr. Gibby. I think that's what they're calling him, Jack Gibbons. I think it's his job already. He saw very few snaps, and then Chance Campbell saw the rest. So I think it's his job to lose. Now, another negative here, and I'm sorry to say it. I know I hate saying this one. Chigakonkwo, he has to be a negative, guys. He has to be a guy that I wish we would have seen more out of. He had 2 huge drops. They were catchable right over the middle of the field, and Malik Willis delivered good balls. They were catchable, and they could have been huge gains, massive gains. With the speed, the athleticism he has, he could have took 1 or 2 to the house. We don't know, but he didn't catch it. Now, some quick stats for you guys before we get into Malik. The projected starting line had 16 snaps, which was 4 more than last week. And I did say that there's an injury to the offensive weapons here earlier, and that's Kyle Phillips. He was hurt. We don't know how serious it is as of yet. Hopefully it's not. I did hear the cart came out for him later. He got hurt in that punt return. That sucks, man. The Titans on offense converted 7 of 13 on 3rd down for a 54% completion percentage there for a 3rd down rate. The defense held the Vikings to 3 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. That's a 23%. That 3rd down for 54% for the offense, I'll take it. 23% on the defense, though. I'll take that all day. The Titans were 2 of 3 on red zone efficiency of scoring a touchdown. The defense was 1 of 3, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. Vikings were forced to kick field goals here. The Titans turned the ball over twice. 1 fumble, 1 pick. The Vikings did not. That's a -2. That sucks. Hate having negative turnover margins. Usually don't win games doing that. The Titans did lead the time of possession battle this week with 32 minutes and 23 seconds, and the Vikings had 27 minutes and 37 seconds. So And I'll get into that as well. I think, you know what? I'm just gonna get a little ahead of myself here because I want to. I think that was a game plan here, is to go in and run the ball. I really do. And I'll get into a little more of that later. You can tell by the time of possession there, even though we turned the ball over 2 times, we still won it. Usually that does not go hand in hand there. Usually does not. Now, Malik Willis time, guys. He went 10 of 17 for 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick for a 67 quarterback rating. It's not that good. He had 11 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. He had a long rush of 26 yards. Now, that run, man, that was amazing. This guy can scoop. He wasn't asked to throw the ball a lot. And let's face it, we didn't have the weapons out there for him really to throw into anyways. And Phillips got hurt. Then Chig, like I said, he dropped 2 balls. Malik could have been 12 of 17 instead of 10 of 17. And he could have thrown for 130 instead of 85. Because those balls, he could have, if Chig would have caught those, the stat line would have been a lot better. I'm telling you that much right now. Maybe one of those went for a touchdown too. We don't know. We don't know. He didn't catch the ball. Now, he did miss some guys that were coming open. And I did see that. Excuse me. They were coming up across the middle. And they're coming open across the middle, I should say. And he just didn't see him. Just missed it. The height thing's there a little bit. Just don't forget that. It's not like he's 6'6". And he's definitely holding on to the ball for too long still. He's gotten better, but he needs to get rid of it quicker. I wasn't very impressed, to be honest with you guys, and I had been hoping for a lot more. But like I said earlier, I was going to get into this. He only attempted 17 passes. That is a game plan. That is by design. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of pissed about it because did he not get pulled last year for not throwing the fucking football? Right? He got pulled for it. Now you're going to tell me you're going to send him out there and only attempt 17 passes? I mean, that means you called less than 20 pass plays on offense. They went in there knowing they're going to run the ball. I mean, look at how great all the running backs did, right? It's just... But he also did take off. You got to remember that. He did take off 11 carries. So, those are, some of those should have been throws. It should have been attempts. So maybe he would have had, just in the mid-20s for passing attempts if he didn't take off and run with them. But like I did say, we didn't have weapons out there. Phillips got hurt. Chig dropped a couple balls, pulled him out. He's not throwing to anybody that great. Our wide receiver room, after you get past, after you get past Burks and Hopkins and, if you want to put, I think Dowell got hurt as well. If you want to, we're not really throwing to too much. Racy McMath, I mean, there's just not much. Really is. And then, like I said, when Phillips got hurt too, and then the tight ends are out, like Chig he was out. I mean, he's not really having the greatest weapons, so you can't knock him for that. But I still wasn't that impressed. But I do think we should have told him like we did last year. Go out there and sling it. You throw it. You run that ball. No, you throw it. We want to see what you got. And maybe they did tell him that, but we had a reserve quarterback of Mason Kinsey, so I don't think, let's just say, he reverted, and I think he did, by the way. I think he reverted back to his old self a little bit. So maybe he did, and they're like, well, we can't pull this guy and put a reserve quarterback in. How's that going to make him feel? But I do feel like that was kind of the game plan going along, and maybe it became more of the game plan once we had some injuries hit. And then the interception that he had, the linebacker broke off his coverage and got in front of the route that Malik was eyeing, and he picked it off. Great play by the linebacker. Malik's got to learn from that. That's a learning moment. But like I said, that's a great play by the linebacker there. Overall, though, I was just okay with this performance. I just wish we saw more. Excuse me. And I wish we would have saw more of the wow factors we've been seeing and hearing about in practice. Oh, Malik uncorked one. Oh, Malik threw a bomb. And, I wish we would have seen more of that. I really do. He's got a cannon on him. I would like to see him hit a 60-yard pass. But, are we talking differently? And be honest, guys. I'm trying to be honest with myself, too, because we're all Titans fans here. I'm trying to see it realistically. Maybe we're talking different here. Like I said earlier, if Chigoziem Okonkwo caught some of those passes, Maybe he took one to the house. We're like, man, Malik Willis connected with Chig for a 60-yard touchdown. And we're like, wow, all blown away by it. Something like that could have completely changed the narrative because a lot of people are bummed out by his performance. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. And, you know, I wish I would have seen more. I was excited for him to get a whole start, a whole game to himself to see what he's got, see how much he's grown. And, you know, I didn't see what I really wanted to see. And, you know, he's got the wheels, though. He was taking it, he was tucking it and running it when nobody was open. And I'm okay with that because I feel like he wasn't really doing that last year. I don't think he was taking off when things were breaking down. And then he did have one play that he broke like 4 tackles and he ran off to the right side. He broke a tackle. He's towards the sideline. I'm like, throw the fucking ball, throw it away, throw it out of bounds. And he didn't do it. He's got to learn from that. You can't do that. Sure, it was super fun and electric to watch, but get rid of the ball. You have to do that. He's still got a lot of learning to do, guys. He really does. You know, he's improved already, but he has a long ways to go, in my opinion, still. But that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Is there somebody I missed that did really well and I overlooked them? Or maybe the other way. Is there somebody that you think did very poorly and you want to make sure that, you know, we call them out right now, or call them out to the floor, come out to the carpet? And what do you think about Malik Willis's performance? You guys impressed, not impressed? Just it's okay. Or let me know what you guys think, guys. Comment down below, and we'll talk soon, everybody. Tighten up.